Hello students, in this lecture we are going to start a new topic, that is mathematical methods. Now in mathematical methods, first we will be studying about scalar quantities and vector quantities. What are scalar quantities? The physical quantities which can be completely described by magnitude alone are called as scalar quantities. To describe any scalar quantity, we don't need the direction. For example, length, mass, volume, work, energy. Let's see this example. If we have a rod whose length is say 3 centimeter, okay, I move this rod in any direction, or I make it straight, I may change the inclination of the rod, I take it into any direction, its value is not going to change. It will remain 3 centimeter only. Okay, and to know its length, I need not know its direction. It is kept in which direction? That is not necessary. Okay, so such quantities are called as scalar quantities. The quantities which can be described by magnitude alone are called as scalar quantities. Now, what are vector quantities? Vector quantities are the quantities which can be described using magnitude and direction. Okay, unless we tell the direction, we do not know exactly or the complete specifications of that quantity. So for complete description of certain physical quantities, we need to specify both magnitude and direction. Such quantities are called as vector quantities. Examples are force, velocity, displacement, acceleration, etc. Now let's see what do I mean by this. So suppose we have a table, and on this table I have placed a block. Okay, there is a block placed, and I tell you to move this block, the force needed is 2 Newton. 2 Newton. But I say that I am applying a force of 4 Newton, still the block is not moving. Okay, to move this block, 2 Newton force is needed. But I tell you I am applying a force of 4 Newton, still the block does not move. Then why is it not moving? Because I am applying the force in a wrong direction. Okay, if I apply the force in this direction, 4 Newton, it will not move. But if I apply the same force in this direction, 4 Newton, it is going to move. And when I tell you I am applying a force of 4 Newton, I am giving you insufficient data. I have to also tell you in which direction I am applying the force, right? Because the direction matters for force, velocity, displacement, acceleration, momentum, impulse. For all these quantities, along with magnitude, the direction also matters. Now, what is this displacement? We know that distance, if we just say, it is a scalar quantity. But displacement is a vector quantity. Displacement is a vector quantity. What is the difference between distance and displacement? Suppose a person has moved from A to B. A person has gone from A to B along this orange line. Okay, so the actual length of this line, actual distance he has moved along this line, this distance is the distance. Okay, this length is the distance. Then what is the displacement? Displacement is this distance, the distance between the initial position and the final position. Okay, this is the distance. So if I put one more point over here, say C, and in this I put one more point D. So distance is a scalar quantity, and that is along the path ACB, and displacement is ADB. Okay, the path ADB. Displacement has a direction, in which direction has the body displaced. Okay, so this is the difference between distance and displacement. Now, another important thing regarding vectors is that since vectors possess both magnitude and direction, they cannot be added or subtracted by rules of algebra. We cannot use direct addition or subtraction in vectors. There are different rules, different operations which we will be studying. Now, how to write a vector? How do I represent a vector? Suppose a particle has moved from A to B. It has moved from A to B. So A is the initial position, B is the final position. How will I draw the vector? The vector is shown by an arrow. Okay, so I can write this vector as A, B and an arrow on the head, A, B bar. Whenever there is a bar over any quantity, we come to know that it is a vector quantity. We are speaking about vector. So you put an arrow over it. Or I can also call this as P. This distance AB, I can call it as P. Then I will write it as P bar. Either you put it as an arrow, or sometimes you can just write a bar also. That is also enough. Okay. So AB bar or P bar, anything. This is how you represent the vector. It can be in any direction. If I have a vector like this is my vector x, y. X is the starting point and y is the end point. So the arrow is pointing towards y. Arrow is pointing towards y. This starting point is called as the head of the vector, and this is called as the tail of the vector, tail or the end point, whatever. So I can represent this vector as xy bar or xy and an arrow overhead. Anyways, if I give it a name, say Q, I will write it as Q bar. I can write it as Q bar. Okay. So this is how we are going to represent a vector. Now let's see different types of vectors. Let's see different types of vectors. The first and foremost thing we will see is the position vector. What is a position vector? Okay. Position vector is a vector which gives the position of a particle at a point with respect to the origin of a chosen coordinate system. We choose a coordinate system. So, if a particle, if certain particle has moved from this point to this point, it has moved from one place to another. So how will I give the position vector of the particle? The particle is over here, right? So its position I can give by drawing axis or a coordinate system over here itself. I can choose my coordinate system. So I choose it such that the particle has started from the origin. The particle has started from the origin and it has come to point, say P. It has come to point P. So I can draw this vector OP by showing an arrow. Position vector always shows the movement of the particle. Particle was initially at O, now it is at P. And I will write it as R bar. Okay, normally position vector is denoted by R bar. Now the position vector of point P with respect to the origin is R bar is equal to OP bar. Now once we take few problems, this position vector will be clear to you. Right now you just have to understand that it tells us about the position of the particle. So if I tell you another particle Q is over here, Q is over here. What is the position vector of this q? So what will I do? I will draw another line from the origin. And this becomes my position vector OQ bar. This OQ bar will give me position of OQ, okay, or position of the particle at Q. So this is what position vector is. Now next type of vector is equal vectors. Equal vectors. Now this is a comparison between two vectors, okay. When are two vectors said to be equal? Suppose there are two vectors, one is this A, B. So this is the vector AB bar whose magnitude is written like this. Magnitude means the value. So whose magnitude is say 4 centimeter. And there is another vector. AB. Oh, sorry. Let's call it as PQ. Okay. PQ bar. Whose magnitude is also 4 centimeter. So you see that AB bar and PQ are in the same direction and their magnitude is also the same. Such vectors are called as equal vectors. They are called as equal vectors. So vectors with same magnitude and direction are called as equal vectors. If magnitude same and direction is different, they will not be equal vectors. Okay? If direction is same but magnitude is different, still they will not be equal vectors. For vectors to be equal, both magnitude and direction have to be the same. So such vectors are called as equal vectors. Now let's see the next type of vectors. Negative vector. Now what is a negative vector? Again, suppose I have this one vector PQ which is pointing in this direction and magnitude of PQ bar is equal to 4 centimeter, right? Another vector AB bar is in the opposite direction and magnitude of AB bar is also 4 centimeter, right? So magnitude is same, but direction is opposite. Then what can I say? I will say that this vector, let's say it is X bar and Y bar. X bar is negative vector of Y bar. X bar is negative vector of Y bar. Okay? In negative vectors, magnitude is same, the direction is opposite. Right? Now let's see fourth type. That is a zero vector. So from the name itself we can come to know that a vector whose magnitude is 0, its magnitude is 0. Such vector is called as a zero vector and we can represent it by 0 bar. It does have some direction, its magnitude is 0 in a particular direction, okay, but the magnitude is 0. We also call it as a null vector. What can be the example for a zero vector? If a particle is stationary, it is not moving, its velocity is 0. So velocity vector can be called as a zero vector. Or a particle is moving in a direction with a uniform velocity. If velocity is uniform, the acceleration vector is a zero vector. Okay, because value of acceleration is 0, magnitude is 0. So the vectors whose magnitude is 0, we call them as a zero vector or a null vector. Okay. Another type is, it's not a type but just a name, resultant vector. Resultant vector. So the resultant of two or more vectors is a single vector which gives the same effect as produced by all the vectors together. Okay, so if I have two vectors which are acting like this, say P bar and Q bar. Suppose they are forces and they are pulling a body. They are pulling this object of mass m. Okay, now instead of these two forces, I apply just one force. I apply only one force on this particular body and I am getting the same effect. The body will move in the same direction with same acceleration. Then I can say that R bar is one force which is giving me same effect as P bar and Q bar together. Then R bar is the resultant of P bar and Q bar. Okay, so this is what we mean by resultant, right? Now another type is unit vector. Unit vector. Again, by the name itself, we come to know what unit vector is. A vector whose magnitude is 1 in a given direction is called as a unit vector. So, magnitude is 1. Magnitude of unit vector is 1. Unit means 1. Okay, and it is represented by a cap. If m is a unit vector, I will represent it with a cap over its head, m cap. Or many a times unit vector is denoted by u, um cap. See, if I have this one vector, this is a vector, say AB bar. I call it as a vector m. So the vector is m bar. Magnitude of m bar is something, say 6 units. 6 units is the magnitude of m bar. We can see the direction. Now I want to draw a unit vector in the direction of this m. So unit vector I will draw like this. Just a small vector in the same direction, but magnitude is 1. So I will write it as um cap. Magnitude of cap will be how much? 1. Because that is what a unit vector is. Unit vector has a magnitude of 1. Okay. Now, as a convention, we use for x and y axis unit vectors called I cap and j cap. So if this is my x axis and this is y axis, to indicate the directions along x axis and y axis, I can say that the unit vector along x axis is I cap, and unit vector along y axis is denoted by j cap. Okay, it is denoted by j cap. And similarly, if we have the third axis, that is the z axis, the unit vector along the z axis is denoted by k cap. It is denoted by k cap. Okay, so I cap, j cap and k cap are unit vectors along x axis, y axis and z axis. Okay, so this is about the unit vectors. A little detailed about this unit vectors we will study in the next class. Thank you.